everyone. We are going to finish this book by TRISHA Paytas, The Stripper Diaries. We only have, well, there's more than a few pages. Look, it might be maybe one or two. Let's try to do this in one video and get through this book because I'm really looking forward to starting something else. So, yeah. Let me know in the comments below if you want to see a book by Channon Rose, or which book would you like me to read after this. This is July 4th, 2009. Dear Diary, when you lose someone you love so unexpectedly, it's devastating. I can't eat or sleep. I've been having sex with anyone for free. It's hard to breathe. Every day it's a challenge to breathe. I just want my only friend back. I even reached out to Michael again today and still no response. Nobody loves me. Nobody. My mom and sister are giving me headaches. I feel like all I have is the club. At the club, I am anybody I want to be and everybody the world wants me to be. Tonight, I was half Filipino. And within an hour, I was half black with a Muslim background. Need a change, need to get away. Went to church this morning for guidance and direction and purpose. We had another underage girl start today. This is the second one at this club. Seems to be a common theme here in LA. I was devastated. Would she turn out like me? Hard and washed up at 21 years old. I don't trust any man or any person. Everyone is out to get me. Everyone. I don't like food. I don't like food. Girl. Sometimes I'm like reading this and I know it doesn't make any sense to you guys, but trust me, I'm just reading it by verbatim. I don't like food. I only want to inject myself and have unprotected sex. I go to daily mass. I am fucked up in the head. Brian would always say I was fucked, and he was right. How did this happen? How did I get here? Thank goodness for the internet. Posting videos on there is the only glimpse I have of the real Trish. The Trish that loves herself and loves to entertain. Thinking I might have developed multiple personality disorder through all this. Just to give you the date again, July 9th, 2009. My mom is worried about me even though she doesn't say it. Tonight the air broke in the club and I just about died. I only made $50 and that was with extra. I am so done. I am so exhausted. I just want to go to sleep. Forever. Don't forget the baby's on the way. July 29th, 2009. Dear Diary, God is good. I may be taking a break from this journal to do a new journal, a prayer journal. God has blessed me with a clean bill of health for once and 2 jobs on television. I am feeling alive. I took my mom and sister out to dinner. It just feels good to connect with myself again. I made a few $100s from my videos this month. It's so crazy to be getting paid to entertain strangers. It's kind of what I have always wanted. Someone at the club recognized me from my tanning addiction show tonight. Felt good and bad at the same time. They asked me why I was working here. I answered with the truth. I don't know. Why am I working here? This is not what God put me on this earth to do, is it? If one good thing has come out of me being a stripper, it is sharing my stories with my younger sister. She never wants to be a stripper. She told me tonight via text. She said she is scared for me and is going to go to college next semester. so she won't ever have to. Yeah, and look what Trisha convinced her sister and mother to do with Trisha in the mud bath with the boobs flying. Okay? Right. I was so proud of my sister. I think we always thought stripping was a good idea based off of what we've seen in Lifetime movies and such. But real life is so depressing in the sex industry. I have cystic acne, meth scars, tattered clothes, and a purse full of piss every night. And that's because at the club, when the girls don't like each other, they pee in their purses. A nice older gentleman at the club tonight offered to take me away from all this. He said he'd pay for my company, but he was also looking for a wife. I just don't think I could do that for money. Not anyone. I realize life is about finding my own happiness. I need to make myself happy, and God will provide the rest as needed. I need more faith. I love the men who come into our clubs because no one else will. All the souls in the strip clubs need the most prayers because they are lacking something somewhere, even if it's buried deep. Redemption shall come, and I will love every soul I encounter. I have forgiven all the rapists, the pedophiles, the stalkers, and all others who have made my life hell. I only pray they find God and repent before it's too late. Love, T. Sometimes I don't say anything because there's just nothing to say but the words that she has written. And remember, a baby's coming. August 2nd, 2009. Dear Diary, tonight was an interesting night. I got asked by Mo's friend Amir, and I said yes. Kind of weird, but I like him. He always gives me a lot of money, but that's not why I like him. He has a thick accent, is very tall, and very respectful. He's not my type at all, but I'm excited to go out with him. Spent hours just talking in the VIP room that he paid for. The girls, super jealous. All my makeup was missing from my broken locker, and someone took a piss in my bag. What's with strippers acting like fucking trashy cats? It's weird. It's like they're not human beings. Amir is sweet, though I could never date him long term. He's Muslim. I'm Catholic. That sounds like the beginning of a joke. A Muslim and a Catholic walk into a strip bar. Ha ha ha. Sadly, this is my life. Hopefully no one finds out we're dating outside the club. Even though it's totally ghetto, I kind of like this club. It feels like home in a weird way. Plus, it's the easiest money I've ever made. It's close to my house, and even when I look my worst, I'm still the hottest one in that place. Pretty uneventful night. Think Kid Rock came in. Could be mistaken, but it looked like him. Heard he loves the black chicks, so it would make sense. Been clean for a few weeks now, feeling proud of myself. Cleaning up my act, working on internet videos during the day. Feels like a schedule, sort of. See how tomorrow goes. Love, T. August 14th, 2019. Dear Diary, today I worked the day shift. First time in a long time doing that. It wasn't so bad. Made a couple $100 and gave half to my mom for her birthday. Amir took us all out to eat. He is very kind and sweet. My mom likes him. I don't get butterflies for him. To be honest, I really am just trying to keep him as my customer and no one else's. Nonetheless, I care a lot about him as a human being, and I'm not trying to lead him on. He even came in for my entire shift today. Got a little in trouble by my manager because I spent the whole time talking to him, but I was able to snatch up some dances to keep the club happy. Amir keeps me company. He bought me new shoes from next door and had chicken fingers delivered to me. He's a great guy. This poor, sweet 16-year-old can't seem to make a buck. I caught her stealing an iPad and some jewelry, probably fake, from some of the girls' bags that they leave in there. I carry around a full purse with me. I don't care. I don't trust anyone. I didn't say anything, but I offered her some of my tips and some advice. I told her to stay away from drugs because if she was desperate for money now, stealing from strippers, drugs would ruin her in a whole different way. She called me old and washed up, which is crazy, and threatened to steal my car. If it makes me mad that this girl is in there, I pray for her. I really do. She is too beautiful to be in this industry. I saw her having sex with a man who was probably 60 and walked with a limp. I know he doesn't have much money. He also smells like green beans. My heart literally breaks in half. Other than that, pretty uneventful. Thank God for my family and even for Amir. He's keeping me company and employed. Love, T. All right, let's just see how much we have because I really want to get through it. Let's see. You guys, I want to get through it in this video. I really do. We have a few more entries. We have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more days. And then, no, 7 more days. But some of them are short. Then the book is complete. Then this series is complete. Shall I just get it done now? Yes, I want to. August 22nd, 2009. Dear Diary, I hope you have a snack. This club is dangerous. It doesn't feel right anymore. Not that it ever did, but I feel terrified going in. My paranoia is at an all-time high for some reason. I keep having visions of me getting killed. I want these thoughts out of my head. I don't want them to manifest, but they are so graphic and so visual that I can't sleep at all. I shake when I'm awake. Maybe it's coming off of drugs, but it feels more than that. It feels real. Well, of course, shaking after coming off of drugs is real. It is real. I asked Amir if he thought I was ever going to get out of this club, out of stripping, and he said he knew I was. He brought me this beautiful pearl necklace, and I knew it was real because it smelled like pearls. The smell of real pearls is something I can't describe, but I remember smelling my mother's pearls my dad had given her and just thought they smelled luxurious. Between him telling me I was meant for better things and giving me such an extravagant gift, I thought about all these angels in disguise. Amir, Pearl, and I still believe in a world full of mostly good people, even in the steady world of strip clubs and prostitution. Amir is a no bullshit kind of guy. He doesn't promise me marriage. He doesn't promise me the world. I don't love him, but I love what he does for me. And that's not taking advantage of someone? Something in my life is missing. Something's got to give. But what? What am I doing wrong? The constant battle of my life is right versus wrong. I know what I'm doing is not good, but I can't quit. There's a mental illness brewing, and I wasn't born with it. How fitting that Taxi Driver is on now. It's very disturbing that I can understand Travis Bickle's thought process. I need sleep. Love, T. September 10th, 2009. Dear Diary, Michael got arrested this past week. I reached out to him and he wanted to hang out again. Oh my goodness, I am so happy. I took the whole weekend off of work and went back tonight for the first time. He kept texting me through the whole night. I was in the middle of a lap dance with this super creep, Al, who comes in all the time just to jerk off in front of me, and I even text in the middle of that. Michael just makes me smile. I told him I quit dancing, but that I work on my internet videos at night and have deadlines, or something along those lines. I just want to marry and have babies with him. I make enough off of my videos for a part-time job. I guess in theory, I could quit dancing. I want to so badly. Michael suspects me of being on drugs though. He judges me for doing them, even though he chain smokes weed. If I got pregnant, I would quit it all, and he would have to too. My head is just spinning with so much excitement. Told my manager, Tia, all about getting back together with him. She told me I was being stupid because I have a dozen guys touching me every single night for money. She just doesn't get it. She's a little fat Guatemalan woman who tells all the Mexicans I'm a prostitute in Spanish. I'm so much more than a hooker, a stripper, a druggie, a junkie. Like, I'm meant to do great things. Had a man come in tonight and tell me he was a prophet. He told me I was going to burn in hell if I didn't quit what I was doing. I think I'm going to quit for good. Like, this is too much to deal with. Aside from that, 2 girls got arrested tonight, and I'm not sure why. The cops took us all to the back room to search our lockers. I bolted out of there. Between the prophet and Michael coming back into my life, I think I'm going to take a leap of faith and just quit and pray that either marriage comes into play or my internet videos take off. Love, T. September 17th, 2009. Dear Diary, had this older lady come in tonight asking for me. She threw me off at first. She knew me by my music taste. She said she'd been watching me for a while and wanted a dance. It was unconventional, and it was a first for me. I had never given a dance to a woman by myself. She wasn't part of a couple or a party. It was just her. She offered me a couple of thousands of dollars to go home with her. I looked at her. I stared at her. She was beautiful, but you knew she was a knockout in her prime. Her facial structure was perfection. Her smell was intoxicating, and she had designer everything from head to toe. I was confused. I was flattered, but I was sad. What was this woman's story? I often wonder that about anybody who comes into the club, but her especially. I declined her offer, but I can't stop thinking about her. When I was dancing, she was quivering as she was nervous, and I'm not sure why. She squirmed a lot and kept clutching her thighs tightly together. She tipped me amazingly and gave me a kiss on the lips. Another first tonight. I was questioning my sexuality. Maybe guys mistreat me because I'm not supposed to end up with a male. My church tells me being gay is wrong, so how am I feeling this? I pray not to explore this, but rather get over it. Is it something I can get over? She told me my boyfriend was a lucky man. I don't know how she sensed I had a boyfriend or if she was just assuming, but I'm the lucky one to be with him, right? I don't know. I hope it lasts, but I feel like I'm searching for something that may never be found. I feel like this woman was the same way. It's almost as if she was me in 30 years. It tripped me out. Her kiss was one of the most amazing things I've felt in a long while. Love, T. September 20th, 2009. Dear Diary, keeping a positive mind when working at a strip club is a very challenging thing. I love my boyfriend so much. I really wish I could make him a full-time living doing something else. But what? My mom brought me takeout tonight. She said it was her first time in a strip club, and she just wanted to see where I was, what kind of atmosphere I was in. I think she was hurt, but more than that, I think she was sad for me. I think she was more disappointed in herself than with me, as she should be. Hello? She held me so long when she dropped off the food, and she started crying, which of course led me to crying. I told her it was going to be okay. I was the one always reassuring her. She may not have been the best example going from husband to husband, baby daddy to baby daddy, but ultimately, this was my choice. My mom always brought in this diary. She told me it was on the floor after she washed our sheets. It must have been under my pillow this morning. She said she didn't read it, and I said she could. She told me she didn't want to know. She asked me to share it with the underage girl we had working in the club. Maybe she could learn something. I never told my mom specifics of what had happened over the years, but my mother just has an intuition about these things. I thought about sharing some stories. I even think about just giving her this book, but I don't think she will listen. Who would listen? I feel like I'm such a mess, but I feel like if I could go back and share my stories with 13-year-olds and 16-year-old me, I would be in a very different place. Maybe it's too late for me, but maybe it's not too late for another young Trish somewhere in the Midwest. Maybe I'll share these in a blog or something. Nothing too graphic, just enough so people can sense the unhappiness. That strippers aren't all going to get happily ever after they get in movies, even if they do have a heart of gold. Maybe one day I'll be in a place where I can share with someone who'll listen, but not this girl, or maybe, I don't know. Think about it. Tired as usual. Love, T. September 30th, 2009. Dear Diary, the end is near. Not for my life, at least I pray not, but for getting out of this industry. I cannot explain what I'm feeling. I wish I could. I wish I could just purge all this emotion out right now. I don't know where I'm going or what I'll be doing, but I know the end is near for me. The time for me to do great things is coming. Nothing is fun about dancing anymore. Nothing excites me. Nothing turns me on. I'm numb. Michael cheated yet again. And here I am thinking about him, hoping he'll still want to be with me. Such bullshit. Yet, how can I ask for respect when I don't even respect myself? I never respected myself until this moment. Until this very moment, I'm getting that urgency. I felt as a girl in my small town of wanting to get out to show the world how amazing I am. I am amazing. I am so amazing, and I am wasting this life. The day of reckoning is coming, the day where I can feel freed. Up until now, my entire adult life has been a prison, and I've been the only one who could release me. I need to take a little sip. I didn't do any dances tonight. Mo threatened to fire me if I didn't at least attempt to get dances, but I didn't care. I observed the customers. I observed the girls. I observed Mo. How did we all get here? What happened in our lives that we have come to this hellhole on earth? Some guys look bored. Some look eager. Some girls looked beautiful, while others looked beaten up. I saw the pimps come in. I saw the regulars. The staff was like robots to me. The whole world seemed like another world tonight. Nothing seemed real. Tonight was the first night I didn't feel like I belonged here. And I don't. I'm not sure how to break out of this or why. What's going on to click with me finally? When am I going to say enough? I pray to God right now that these answers will come. I may not be the smartest girl, but I know I'm better than this. Love, T. October 1st, 2009. Dear Diary, tonight I had a therapy session at the club. A sweet older gentleman, a retired psychologist, came in. The first thing he said to me was that I was too pretty to be in a club like this, to which I told him he was too kind to be in a club like this. We got to talking and he was intelligent. He picked up on so many things about me without me having to tell him much of anything. He was quite the charmer. I can't lie. I told him I thought I was going crazy from dancing. Never been this honest with a customer, but I knew it was time to start being honest in life in general, so why not start now? It has to be the first step in getting out of this dump. He told me it's not uncommon for nurture over nature to make someone's mental state a little off. He knew quite a few people who came from the best upbringing, but due to circumstances throughout their lives, they lost a few screws. He told me what's important is that I'm acknowledging the change and that I will still fix it, still redeem who I am. I actually told him my real name, and he thought it was lovely. He told me I had a face for television and that if we were younger, he'd marry me. No, if he was younger, he'd marry me. It's a funny thing, this would have always excited me in the past, but I realized I don't want to be married. Not now. I'm not happy with myself. How would I make anyone else happy? I just smiled and giggled. He got a dance from me and got hard from it. I don't know what it is, but erections just ruin any sincere moments that might have happened. I guess when it comes down to it, we're all just sexual beings, and that's just the way we were made. Well, except for me. Pretty sure I'm not gay or straight, just asexual. We also had a girl tonight wear a burlap bag on stage. She really liked it. And then she walked around biting people. I don't know why this stuck with me. I just thought it was random and funny. She was happy though. She was laughing her ass off every time I spotted her. Love, T. October 11th, 2009. Dear Diary, I am shaking like a leaf. I can't stop crying, and I had to burst out to my mom and sister. This little 16-year-old girl who was working at a club wasn't 16. She was, in fact, 14, and she was killed tonight. Right outside our club, not more than a half a block down the street on Sepulveda. She was shot 7 times, and I'm hysterical. Apparently, it's a guy who comes into our club all the time. We heard the shots, and I wanted to bolt, but I realized we didn't even have a back entrance. The shooter came into our club, and thank goodness the manager locked the door to the dressing room. He was yelling and demanding to see a girl named Amanda. I don't know if that was the girl's real name or what, but we had no stripper named Amanda at our club. Apparently, the 14-year-old was Amanda, but he was out of his mind and didn't realize he had already killed her. Security had just called the cops, and they were in there. I think all of us, even the girls on crack, were terrified. We all huddled together in one sweaty, meth-filled group. I got next to this girl, Fame, whom I always had looked up to as the most beautiful girl in our club, one of the highest paid girls. And when I was close to her, I smelled the booze on her breath and the odor from her vagina, and saw her teeth were literally decaying so thin, her tongue moving caused enamel to shed. I don't know what that means. I don't know, but it sounds disgusting. Her tongue moving caused enamel to shed. Mo told all of us to go home, and if we wanted to work, to go to the club that they owned next to the airport. He walked me to my car as he did all the girls and told me not to be swayed by what had happened there that night. He was so calm and nonchalant about it. If I ever needed a sign, this was it. No more. God was speaking to me. He told me that I was putting my life in danger. And if I loved him, I would stop what I was doing and let him provide what I needed. The world is too beautiful to be wasted. I need nothing else in this moment but my health, my family, and God. I'm done. Love, T. Dear Diary, we're at the last entry. This is the very last one. Brace yourself. Dear Diary, today I broke down. I told my dad about my past. I ran out of gas and was too embarrassed to just ask for cash, so I had a meltdown. When my dad cut me off at 18, I never asked for a penny, but I was stuck. I cried. I sobbed. I let myself feel hurt and pain for once in my life. When I drove back to his house to write a check to him for cash. When I drove back to his house to write a check to him for cash, his wife, who's the reason I got kicked out in the first place, was just standing there with that look of attack that's always in her eyes whenever I'm around. Went into my dad's office and put the check down saying, I needed cash. I was so humiliated. He ripped up the check and just handed me $40. I lost it. He had never handed me money since the day I quit college. I started hyperventilating. I felt like a panic attack, even though I had never experienced one before. I couldn't catch my breath. I ran to my car and drove off. My dad got in his and followed. I pulled into a gas station and my dad filled up my tank with his credit card and asked if we could just talk at McDonald's next door. We talked for over 2 hours over 2 coffees. I had yelled out in my disarray that I couldn't afford my medications, that all the health problems I suffered were the direct result of poor choices as a stripper years ago. My dad was hurt but remained strong. He offered to help with my medical expenses and told me to offer up my struggles and pain on this earth to God, and that he'd do everything to help me. My father has always been there for me, and I disappointed him yet again. Seeing pain in your parents' eyes is the worst heartache. I love you, Dad. Love, T. That was it. That was it. That is the Stripper Diaries. We have a playlist from video number 1 all the way through, and I hope you enjoyed this series. What's important is, where do I go from here? Do you want another book on TRISHA Paytas, or do you want a book on Channon Rose? Just leave your comment below. If I don't see any comments, maybe I'll just pick one. All right, you guys, I love you. Thank you for watching, and I will see you soon, I hope.